Thank you, Larry, for that great segment. I'm Carol Kennedy, and today I will be taking us through part two of our presentation. This section of the presentation is entitled Sources of Conflict. So you enter a room and you see two people having a great conversation, and then all of a sudden there's this awkward silence. Something just happened. Ladies and gentlemen, the elephant has just entered the room. And what is the elephant, you may ask? The elephant is conflict. Dr. Larry Nading says there are conflicts of needs, interest, preferences, wants, and opinions. A conflict arises when these pre-programmed items are not received during communication. According to Dobkins and Pace, in our textbook entitled Communication in a Changing World, when people depend on one another, what one person does makes a difference to the other person. So today we will look at a few sources of conflict in order to be aware of the expectations and the preferences of others. One source of conflict is called competing relationship needs. In competing relationship needs, you have a tug of war. On one hand, I want to retain my independence, and on the other hand, I want to have some privacy. On one hand, I want to tell you everything, express myself, and on the other hand, I don't. On one hand, I want to control my environment, and on another hand, I want to experience new things. Let's talk about that one for a moment. So, on one hand, I want to control my environment, and on the other hand, I want to experience new things. This can often be seen in couples that have been together for a long time. They have established a routine. One person does chores, one person picks up the cleaning, one person mows the yard, maybe one person cooks, and then they also have a designated date night, which we can say probably would be Fridays at a certain time, maybe 7 or 7:30. After a period of time goes by, though, one person will inevitably say, why do we always have to go to this place every Friday at the same time? Or why can't you cook? Or why can't you mow the lawn? Or why can't you take out the trash? So while I want to control my environment, I still want to experience new things. Another source of conflict is having a difference in values and beliefs. The real source of contention is two people communicating, having a conflict, and they both disagree on how to resolve the conflict. Even worse, if one person doesn't even recognize there is a conflict. So that could be pretty sticky. The last source of conflict that I will speak about today is the source of conflict in interactions or communications. You have two different types of communicators. You have high text communicators and you have low text communicators. So my best friend Carol, who's been my best friend for over 20 years, her and I have what I call a high text communicating conversation. We can say jargon or we can call someone by a different name and we both know what the other person is speaking about. On the reverse side of that, when I'm speaking to an IT person at my job, they have to make that conversation low text. I don't understand all of their technical terms, so in order for me to understand, they have to make it very generic, put it in layman's terms where a 2-year-old could understand, so I can accomplish what it is that I need to accomplish. So there you have it. Today we have reviewed different sources of conflict. And we see that being adaptable is very important in order to resolve the pull and the tug of war of conflicts. Lisa Kletcher will be up next, and she is going to take us into some more sources of conflict. Lisa, take us into some more interesting topics of sources of conflict.